Hi, I'm professional sports handicapper Ross Benjamin. It's Thursday, October 10th. It's time for another edition of my NFL free picks. And these games will all take place in week 6 of the NFL season, and that comes on Sunday, October the 13th. Before I get to the free picks, just a friendly reminder for those of you who haven't subscribed to this channel, click that subscribe button below. It's what keeps these videos alive. It shows us your support. It's absolutely free. There's no contingencies. There's no ulterior motive. And there's no hidden agenda. It's absolutely free. Just click those videos below, the subscribe button below, I should say, and become one of the 3,600 subscribers we have already. And for those of you who have subscribed, your support in these videos has been deeply appreciated. You've been rewarded, as over my last 35 free pick videos on this channel documented 55 and 37. That's good for 60%. 3 and 2 last week. My NFL free picks the last 2 weeks have gone 3 and 1, and those you could check all those results out by going to the archive right here on this YouTube channel. None of these videos ever gets taken down, so there's no foul play here, folks, as a lot of you have been accustomed to from the so-called handicappers masquerading as handicappers, I should say, that are nothing but glorified salesmen using this business to milk money out of people. I'm not one of those guys. I operate with the utmost honesty and integrity, and that's been proven in these videos over the last few months. And I hope if you haven't joined us that you will subscribe and join us on a regular basis from here on out. Let's get right to the games. Carolina at Tampa Bay, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time start. That's right, folks, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time start. The game will be played in London, part of the NFL Global Series there. And right now, the Carolina Panthers are a 2-point favorite in this NFC South divisional matchup. Carolina will be out to revenge a Week 2 home loss to Tampa Bay. Lost that game 20-14. They were guilty of many mistakes in that game, and that was the last game that Cam Newton started. From that point, the Panthers, who were 0-2 after that defeat, have won 3 straight, covered 3 straight, and all with Kyle Allen at quarterback. And remember, Kyle Allen also started the regular season finale last year at New Orleans. He won and covered in that game as well. So as an NFL starter, Kyle Allen is 4-0 straight up in ATS going into this week. Christian McCaffrey is been putting up, I should say, MVP type numbers, just tremendous performance over the last couple of weeks, and he'll be facing a Tampa Bay defense that over their last 3 games is allowing 34.3 points per contest and 453 yards per game. Since 2017, Tampa Bay has not been very good in this exact betting parameter of between +3 and -3. In those games, in those situations, the Bucks are 1-8 straight up and 1-6-2 against the spread, and that includes 0-4 straight up, 0-6 straight up and 0-4-2 ATS following a loss. And Tampa Bay is coming off last week's 31-24 loss at New Orleans. This has been a very difficult stretch for Tampa Bay. They're coming off 2 consecutive road games at the Rams and at New Orleans, and now they're going to travel across the pond to face a red-hot Carolina Panthers team that will be out, like I alluded to, will be out to revenge that earlier Tampa win in Week 2. I'm going with Carolina here, -2 over Tampa Bay. The next game involves the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Jets, 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff from the Meadowlands in New Jersey. The total in this contest as we speak is 44.5. That's what we're going to concentrate on this game, is the total. Sam Darnold will be back under center this week for the New York Jets, and that's a welcome sign for Jets fans. Darnold has missed the last 3 games due to suffering from mononucleosis and recovering from that sickness. But he's set to go. He's got medical clearance. The problem is, I know Darnold's coming back, and he's a tremendous upgrade over what the Jets have used at quarterback in his place. But the fact remains, this is still a terrible offensive line in New York. And the Jets, as a matter of fact, even though they acquired Le'Veon Bell during the offseason, they're averaging a paltry 66 yards rushing per game and only 3.1 yards per rushing attempt. They're coming off a 31-6 loss at Philadelphia. However, that was a game that was very deceiving as far as the score goes regarding their defensive effort. Despite the 31 points that Philadelphia put up, that Jets defense only allowed 265 yards to Philadelphia in that game. This is also a Jets defense that's forced 9 turnovers in the first 4 games of the season, while Dallas has committed a combined 6 turnovers in their last 2 games. Those are drive killers. Look for that to come into play here to thwart a couple of Dallas Cowboys' potential scoring drives in this contest. This is a Dallas defense, although they're coming off a loss to Green Bay. You know what? They're actually coming off 2 straight losses. One to Green Bay and the week before to New Orleans. And you know what? It's no fault of the defense. Their last 4 games, this is a Dallas defense allowing 284.8 yards per game and just 2.6 yards per rushing attempt. Based on the difficulty that the Jets have had running the ball, it's going to make the Jets a one-dimensional team in this game, meaning they're going to have to rely heavily on their passing attack, and it's never a good thing when a team becomes one-dimensional, especially early in the game. Dallas, you might be surprised to know, in their last 6 non-division away games, each of those contests has gone under the total, and there's been a paltry 29.7 points scored combined between the 2 teams in those 6 contests. The Jets 2-0 under at home this year. 17-16 loss to Buffalo in the season opener. It was the last appearance by Darnold, as a matter of fact. And then they also lost to the Cleveland Browns in a game that they were held to 3 points. And those 2 games combined total of 29.5 points scored per game. I like this one to be a low-scoring affair. I did mention the total of 44.5. We're going to go under in this contest, so I'm going to ask you to buy it up to 45. Get it off the hook. It's a key total. 42, 45, 48, and 49 are key totals. Games that the most combined scores fall upon. So it's not a sign of weakness, folks. It's just smart wagering. And remember, the extra juice you pay to buy the half a point, it only counts when you lose. So let's go Dallas and the Jets. Under 44.5, buy it up to 45. So make it under 45. Last game, the Seattle Seahawks at the Cleveland Browns. 1 o'clock Eastern time start. We're going to concentrate on the total in this game as well. The total right now, at the time of this recording, is 46. The Cleveland Browns coming off an embarrassing loss against San Francisco last Monday night, as a matter of fact, losing that game 34-3, I believe it was. I know they only scored 3 points in that contest and were dominated, especially San Francisco had a field day running the ball against this Browns defense. As a matter of fact, the Browns' last 2 games against Baltimore and San Francisco, they've allowed a combined 458 yards rushing and 6.6 yards per rushing attempt. They'll be facing a Seattle offense that over their last 4 games is averaging 28 points scored per game and 427 yards of total offense per contest. They'll also be facing a dual threat quarterback in Russell Wilson, who's right now, if you were to vote on the league's MVP, you'd have a hard time making a case against Russell Wilson, averaging 282 yards per game passing, completing 73.1% of his pass attempts, good for 12 touchdowns and no interceptions, and he's averaging 9 yards per passing attempt, which is an enormous figure. The Browns defense over their last two have allowed 395 yards to Baltimore, 456 yards to San Francisco, while Seattle has allowed in their 30-29 win against the Rams last week. Despite winning that game, they allowed the Rams to rack up 477 yards of total offense. And since 2015, this is a very good betting situation based on what these teams have given up as far as total yards defensively in recent games. As a matter of fact, any team that's coming off back-to-back games in which they allowed 375 yards or more, like the Browns have, and they're facing an opponent that allowed 450 yards or more in their previous game, like Seattle did, the 477 against the LA Rams. Since 2015, 27 of those 35 games have gone over the total. That's 77.1% of the time. And the average combined score in those 35 contests, 54.2 points per game. This betting angle makes a lot of sense. Two teams that's had difficulty in recent games stopping the opposing offenses, and a reasonable total with all being considered. I like this game to go over the total of 46. Repeating it again, we're going to take the Carolina Panthers -2 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're going to take the Dallas and New York Jets game to go under 44.5, buy it up to 45. That's under 45. And the Seattle and Cleveland game to go over the total of 46. Those are your 3 free picks for week 6 of the NFL. All 3 games go on Sunday the 13th. Be sure to visit my website, rbwins.com, where my late release paid selections will make you a lot of money, folks. For a little investment, you can make a lot of money. That's rbwins.com. Congratulations to all of you again who have been following these videos, 60% over the last 35 videos. And if you haven't subscribed, just a friendly reminder, we appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button below. No cost, absolutely free. Until the next time, good luck with all your picks.